Rachel Rose here talking all things boxing. I'm here with Mikaela at the press conference of the MVP card this weekend in London on Sunday. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. When did you fly in?
I think like 2 days ago. I don't know. My time frame is all messed up right now. But yeah, like 2 days.
I don't even know where I am.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, where I am, who I am. What did you make of the press conference?
It was good. It's great. I mean, I love the rivalries. I know everyone has their opinion on how fighters should act or be going into a fight, but I think you got a little bit of both with Terry Harper and Caroline Dubois, and I'm here for it. I think they're getting people excited about the fight, and that's what's important. And they're going to go in there and show the world what women can do.
And you know better than anything about what hype can do to sort of generate buzz around a fight and what you have to do to do it. And I think it works when it's authentic, and it feels like between the two girls, it feels like there's genuine, genuine fight and genuine animosity.
It's got to be authentic. You're right with that. You know, sometimes you can tell when it's forced, and people can see through that. So when it's authentic and real and natural, then let it fly. You know, people are going to want to tune in and see.
Yeah, and I think there's more room at the moment for the girls to just be girls and just like they don't have to fit a turn. Like Ellie's the sweetest person in the whole world. If she started like cussing people out and being rude, you'd be like,
yeah, it just wouldn't feel. Yeah, so she's being herself. Everyone's being themselves. Like that's what's most important. That's what's going to come across, to the fans. So I like it all. I don't judge. Everyone has their way of doing it, but we're here to sell the fights, and no one has anything to say when the men create rivalries and act beef or create beef towards each other. So.
And I think, we could get into the whole old age thing about women being emotional and whatever, but we can hold ourselves better. But anyway, we're not going to get into that debate right now.
Okay.
I mean, we can if you want to, but I don't want to cause any drama. You had a little moment there where they were saying about you and Chantel Cameron. Talk to me about you and Chantel Cameron. What's
Listen, I've never been the type of fighter that's like shying away or difficult to make a fight with. I have 2 belts at 154. If she gets the win this Sunday, she's going to have a belt at 154. My good friend O'Shea Jones has the final belt at 154. And so those are obviously the girls. They're the best in the division. I want to fight them. So we'll get it done.
And I think but this is what I love, because there's been a lot, as we know, in boxing where people might duck the best fights, the best opponents, because they have a fear of losing, or they don't want to go up against the best. So I love it when I see the best wanting to go up against the best. I feel like if you want to challenge yourself, that's the only way you're going to find out.
Yeah, well, my thing has never been like, some people are so focused on being undefeated and having that O and keeping that O. And yeah, that's great. Like we all want to be undefeated. But to me, like when I hang up the gloves, what I want to be able to say is that I fought everyone. I fought the best of the best. I challenged myself against the best. And I did everything I could to test myself and to put on the great fights for the fan. That's the kind of legacy that I want to have.
But that's the whole purpose for me. So for me, I've been boxing for 19 years, heart problem, could never fight. So I became a coach and then stepped into the media because it just kind of all made sense too. Mm-hmm. But it's the way that boxing tests you as a human being, as an entity, is like one of the last real kind of like rites of passage that we have. Like there's so few places you can go these days where you feel like you're challenged and pushed to the limit. Now, I don't fight, but I can go into a gym where I know that everybody is better than me, and I can be challenged and go into the trenches and figure out who I am. Yeah. And I feel like that messaging of saying like, I want to go and be with the best, because then I get to figure out who am I, where am I, and how do I cope?
That's why I chose boxing in the first place. It's hard. It's extremely hard. And just the way my personality is and the way my mind works, like I need to be stimulated. I need to be challenged. And there's no better sport than boxing for that. I never was the type to like take the easy path. I don't think any woman, we chose an easy path, right? Like we chose a sport that when we started, they didn't allow us to compete in the Olympics. No professional promoters were signing us. It's like we all had to be somewhat delusional to even come into this sport. But that's just who I am. I think with this generation of women, that's who they are too. We like the challenge and we're not afraid of that. And you got to be tough, because boxing will definitely test your patience. It'll test your heart. It'll test your confidence. It'll test everything about yourself. But the more you get in the ring, the more you challenge yourself, the more you test yourself, exactly, the better person you become, the more you get to know who you really are. And that's what life's all about.
Do you find that the lessons that you learn in boxing you then implement in your everyday life?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100% naturally. I mean, this sport challenges you in so many ways, mentally and physically, and so does life. So
do you find that like while you're going through your everyday life, you find things that used to bother you no longer bother you because you've overcome so much in boxing? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you find that your personality has become calmer in your everyday life because of it? Or do you find that your juxtaposition, which is you have to be so calm in boxing, that you can like, I don't know, cry because you drop a spoon?
No, God, no. I always say boxing it'll be the toughest thing I'll ever do. It'll be the hardest thing I've ever done is boxing, so everything after this will be a lot easier. It'll be challenging in different ways, but nothing will be as hard as this. And especially when you haven't had a perfect career, you've had ups and downs, like you really get to know who you are to the core. And so I just know that this will be the hardest thing I ever do. And it makes the rest of life not so scary.
I fully agree. And this is another reason why I asked the question I did to the top table about encouraging women into boxing. You don't have to be a child to start. You can go and get into the gym and just figure out who you are just from hitting the bag, being with a good coach, having a good laugh at your local boxing gym. And I feel like that's super important in my position that I'd like to keep preaching. Just going to touch on, there was a bit of scandal with you last year with Sandy Ryan?
Sandy, yeah.
Yeah, when it all kicked off there. Has all of that been squashed now? Is that all like under the rug?
No.
Is that...
Listen, I don't fake my rivalries. If I don't like this person, I'm not going to suddenly be like, oh, it's all good now. And after just because we fought. No, it isn't. It's not cool. If I don't like you, if going to that fight, if throughout the build-up, I decide that I don't like you, then it's going to take a lot more than just like, oh, we fought it out for me to be cool. No, you're on. I got you out of the way. Bye. Enjoy your life.
Fair. That's completely, because some people are like, yeah, you did the rounds, and I feel, I'm like, cool now, but no.
I mean,
she's just not your cup of tea.
Sometimes, I guess sometimes that could happen. It's yet to happen, but definitely not Sandy. No.
Fair enough. Final thing before I let you go, because I know you're absolutely freezing because it's Baltic in this room. It's so cold in this room. Predictions for, I'm going to go through each one. So Dubois, Harper.
I dig both of them right now. Everyone has their idea of how you should act and going into a fight, and I know that Dubois is kind of playing the villain right now, and Harper's a little bit, more laid back, but that's authentic to who they are, and so that's okay to me, and it feels real. So I don't know. I think on paper, Dubois definitely has the pedigree and is a very technically sound boxer. So I'd probably have to go with her for the win. I just hope that Terry goes in there and does a great job. She's done well with fighting the best. She's always challenged herself, so you got to respect her for that.
I fully agree. Scottney and Flores?
Okay, so I'm really excited for this fight. Really, really excited. Flores reminds me of when I had to go up against someone like Maeva Hamadouche, right? So Ellie's a boxer. I was a boxer. But people like Melly Flores and Maeva Hamadouche, they are going to get you on the inside. They are. And so I just hope Ellie trained for that, prepared for that. It's gonna test her. It's gonna push her. And Melly is not going to give up. She's going to be relentless for 10 rounds. So if Ellie has a good game plan and sticks to her boxing, but also bangs it out on the inside when she needs to, she's the better boxer. And I think she should win. But Melly is going to be tough. Yep.
And also, Ellie Scottney is dinky. She's a tiny little thing, but she's taller in this fight.
Yeah,
she's got a couple inches, which could work in her favor. I mean, obviously, if you're not used to being the taller fighter, like that could really be a nice little advantage. I'm never the taller fighter. I'd spar boys. I'm always really short.
Yeah.
So if I find anybody in front of me who's like my height or smaller, I'm like, oh my god, I can dominate.
Well, Melly's coming forward with big overhand rights and hooks, and so sometimes when you're the taller fighter, you want to make sure they don't get underneath you and they don't come over the top.
True.
So it's
very true.
You never know. It just depends on the game plan and the style and how they stay disciplined in the fight.
Mikaela, I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
It's been wonderful to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time. And everybody tune in on Sunday for this fight. And also stay tuned because you never know. We might get a Mikaela Mayer and a Chantal Cameron fight coming soon. So
You will.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. It's so good to meet you.
You too. Thank you.